Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome to my channel. I am very excited to be sharing my March TBR with y'all today. This has been a very crazy TBR to plan. I just finalized it, I think like 30 minutes ago. It is March 2nd, so you can see how well it's going for me. Anyway, this month is super exciting. I have a 10-day break from school, so I'm taking advantage of that. I am participating in my first readathon of the year. Super excited about that. And overall, I'm just hoping to make it a very productive month for reading and my YouTube channel. Like the other two TBR videos I have done this year, I'm not going to talk about these books for very long. I plan to do 4 or 5 reading vlogs this month and will dive deeper into many of these books that I have on my list. I'm going to save my readathon books for the very end. I will mention when I get to them that they are for a certain readathon that I'll keep a secret until I get to that point. But the books that I share right now are not going to be in any particular order. A lot of them are probably going to be grouped together by vlogs that I'm doing. They're not a secret. I will probably mention each one that I have planned. Maybe that will actually help me follow through on these vlog plans that I have, because that doesn't always happen when I say that I want to do a vlog. Yeah, it doesn't always get done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start talking about the books that I would like to read this month. There are a lot of them. That's very on brand for me. Will I get to all of them? I don't know. Definitely did not get to all the books on my February TBR. Still read a lot, but I definitely deviated from that TBR a lot. I just have all the physical books sitting next to me. A majority of the books on my TBR this month are physical books. So hopefully I'll make a dent in my physical TBR during March, because it's a little bit out of hand. Let's just go ahead and talk about the books that I want to read in March. I need to stop rambling. I'm just going to start picking up the physical books that I have next to me, and I will let you all know, what I have planned to read in March. The first book on my March TBR is The Cousins by Karen M. McManus. I read One of Us is Lying a year and a half ago at this point, and I really enjoyed it. My friend Elle got me this book over a year ago from Book Depository, hence the black sprayed covers. This is the UK edition. Really excited about it. I really enjoyed One of Us is Lying, and I'm excited to dive into this other YA thriller. I will also be reading I Know Your Secret. This is a thriller. I am reading it for a reading vlog this month. This vlog that I'm reading this book for will be a secret for now, but I am reading this book for a vlog and I'm super excited for it. I've heard it's wild. It's very short. It's a very little book compared to, like, even this book is already well, I guess it's kind of the same size. Okay. Well, it's very thin at least. Anyway, my point was like trying to show that this is a baby book in terms of size, but okay, well, never mind. Anyway, this is a thriller. No idea what's about, but I've heard it's amazing and I cannot wait to get to it, hopefully before the first half of this month. For the same reading vlog that I am reading I Know Your Secret, I will also be reading a YA contemporary called Where It All Lands. I have heard this book is going to make me cry, so I need to prepare myself before I start reading it. I also recently swapped one of my Book of the Month books with somebody for a copy of Luster. I've had this book on my TBR since it was announced as a Book of the Month book last year or at the very end of 2020. I know it's a contemporary or literary fiction novel, not quite sure what it's about, but I've heard it's really good, and it's also a very short book, so I'm hoping to fly through this one in less than a day or so. I might start this one today or tomorrow, and just knock out some of the shorter books on my March TBR right away. I also would like to finally read A Girl Like Her by Talia Hibbert. Stasia got me this book sometime last year, and it's also been on a couple TBRs, never actually picked it up, so I'm determined to get to it this month. I need to get to it. It's a romance. That's all I know. I really enjoyed the Brown Sisters trilogy by Talia Hibbert, so I have very high hopes for this one as well. I also got an ARC in the mail a couple weeks ago that I was not expecting, and it is for a thriller called Girl in Ice. This book, I believe, published on, well, it says March 11th it comes out, so I guess it's not out yet, but I definitely thought it released yesterday on the 1st, but apparently I am wrong. Anyway, this book comes out on March 11th apparently, and maybe I can read it before then and get a review up on its release date. This is a thriller. I don't know if I mentioned that. I would also like to read These Hollow Vows. This is a young adult fantasy. I have no idea what this book is about, but I got it on a book shopping trip that I did with my friend at the very end of the fall semester. There's this one scene that I saw on TikTok that is apparently like really spicy. So, don't know what to expect with this one, but I am excited to pick it up. I would also really like to read my Belle book box. Yeah, my Belle book box edition of Rich Prick. It's a contemporary romance. I have no idea what it's about, but I really like this special edition. I think, yeah, it's very pretty. It's signed by the author, and I've heard really good things about this author, so not sure what to expect, but hopefully I will really enjoy it. One of my goals this month is to read some of the Book of the Month books that I have on my TBR cart that have not been read. I am literally the worst about getting my Book of the Month books and never reading them. For a couple of months, I did pause my subscription, or like I just let the credit roll over every month because I really wanted to catch up on my Book of the Month backlist. That hasn't exactly happened. So we're trying again this month. I guess I should probably keep the sticky note on it that says Book of the Month vlog, but I do have 3 Book of the Month books on my TBR for the month. Would love to get to a couple more this month as well, but we'll see if that happens or not. First, I have One Last Stop. This is by the author of Red, White, and Royal Blue. Really enjoyed that one. This is a contemporary, an adult contemporary fiction, adult contemporary romance, sorry. There's also a time traveling element in it, which does make me a little bit nervous. I don't tend to love that element in books, but I do have the audiobook for it, so hopefully I will be able to, yeah, get through it, get into it, even if I don't necessarily love that trope in books. I also plan to read True Story. This is a contemporary fiction, takes place in a high school. Yeah, it's about rumors and stuff like that. I'm very excited for this one. I meant to read it in December of last year and I didn't get to it. So this is the month that I'm finally reading it. I do have the audio for this one as well, so hopefully that will help me get through it as well. And the third book that I would like to read for this Book of the Month reading vlog that I have planned is The Chestnut Man, sorry. This is a horror. It is, it's big, but I have the audiobook for this one as well. So I really want to, yeah, pick this one up. I've had it for quite a while. It is now sold out on Book of the Month. It came out in 2019. I love horror. I haven't read a good one in quite a while, so hopefully I really enjoy this one. I've heard it's good, but we'll see how I feel about it once I get to it. I have a physical copy of Where It All Lands, and I'm pretty sure I talked about it a couple of minutes ago, but I just forgot to show that I do have a physical ARC of it. Anyway, doesn't matter anymore. I am like literally all over the place with this video right now, but it's fine. We're just gonna roll with it. Finally, this month as well, I said this last month, but I'll be reading House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. This is the first book in the Crescent City series. This was on my February TBR. I was this close to getting to it, but then I didn't. So, yikes. This month I will actually be reading Crescent City. I ended up swapping this book for a shorter book on my 12 and 12 challenge, so I could get a quick vlog done for that during the month of February. So I plan to start this one in the next couple of days. As soon as I finish up my 2 current reads, I will actually be diving into this book. This is an adult or a new adult fantasy. Have no idea what it's about, but I've been told I will be obsessed with it. Another vlog that I have planned for the month of March is a historical romance reading vlog. During the month of February, I read 3 historical romances, and I was just really vibing with that genre. And I'd really like to keep that up as well. So, this month I'll be doing a historical romance reading vlog, and I'll be reading 4 books for that. The first is The Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics. This is a sapphic historical romance. I'll also be reading After Dark with the Duke. I'm getting Christmas vibes from this book, but I really love the cover. So I randomly picked it up to add to my TBR this month. I was gifted this book last year by the publisher, and yeah, I'm kind of in love with the cover. So excited about that one. And I will also be reading The Princess Stakes. I bought this book in my most recent book shopping vlog. Very excited about it. I'm in love with this cover. I don't know what to expect. I haven't read anything by this author yet, nor have I read anything by these other 2 authors. So, sorry, we're just struggling a little bit. Anyway, yeah, I haven't read anything by these 3 authors before. I am excited about them. Yeah, I am excited about them. I have seen all these authors before on Instagram and Facebook and some of the historical romance groups that I'm a part of. So hopefully I really love all of these. I have a feeling that I will, and I am very excited to do this reading vlog this month. I am also reading a 4th book for that vlog, and that is The Good Girl's Guide to Rakes. This book is by Ava Leigh. It just came out. I have an arc on NetGalley of it, and I have heard it's truly wonderful. This will be my 4th book by the author, and loved 2 out of the 3 of them. So I have very high hopes for this book as well, and have just heard that it is amazing. So super duper excited about that one. I think this is my most anticipated historical romance that I will be reading for this historical romance reading vlog. I will also be doing a NetGalley reading vlog, hopefully, and I have 3 books on my TBR for that. The first is a thriller called Firstborn. The second is a contemporary called You Made a Fool of Beauty with Your Death, or You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. I don't remember what the book is called all the way, but it is by the author of The Death of Vivek Oji, and I really love that book. And this is their newest book that comes out in March, April, or May, one of those months. Honestly don't know, but I was super shocked and happy to get approved for an arc of their newest book on NetGalley. So I will be definitely getting to that one this month. I have such high hopes for it. This is one of my most anticipated reads of the summer, and yeah, super honored to have gotten an advanced copy, and will definitely be reading it this month, even if I don't get to my NetGalley reading vlog, but hopefully I will. And then finally, I will be reading a young adult fantasy Jane Eyre retelling, which is Within These Wicked Walls. This book was released last year, meant to read it last year. That didn't happen, so I'm doing it now, and it's gonna be great, hopefully. This month, I will also be trying to buddy read The Ballerinas with Stasia this month. Didn't get to it in February, neither of us did, and so we are trying again this month. This is a thriller, and I am literally in love with this cover. I do have a couple of tours that I'm doing this month as well. So the first book that I'll be reading for one of those is Binding Contract by Amelia Wilde. This is a romance. This is the 3rd in a series, the name of the series of which I cannot remember, but I really loved the first 2 books. So yeah, I'm currently reading this one actually, and I'm really enjoying it so far. And the other book that I'm reading for a book tour is a mafia romance called Her Romeo. I will now be moving on to my readathon TBR for the Squash That Series readathon that I am participating in during the month of March. It does go from March 7th through the 20th, and it's hosted by Bailey and Kayla from Is Bailey Reading and Kayla Ray Reads. I will have their YouTube channels linked in the description down below if you would like to check out their announcement videos. I went ahead and did my rolls for this readathon ahead of time. It is one of the ones where you roll and you land on prompts in this board that they put together. So I rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. 9 times. I can't really count. There's a bunch of books on my TBR for this readathon. I can't tell if it's 9 or 10. Yeah. There's a bunch. So I'm going to go through those books really fast, and I will also mention the prompt that I'm reading them for. First, I have The Obsession by Nikki Sloan. This is for the novella prompt. I actually DNF'd this book in February, but I'm going to try again because it's super short, and yeah, we'll try it again. This is a romance. I will also be reading The Heart Principle for the series You Were Caught Up on prompt. I do have a physical copy of this book. It is just not here right now. Yeah, and I don't really feel like getting up to grab it. So yeah, this is a romance. This is the third book in the series. Don't remember the name of it, but I was caught up until the third book came out last year. So I plan to read that book for this prompt. For the Randomize Your Series TBR, I rolled the Goal by Elle Kennedy. This is the fourth book in the Off-Campus series. Every book that I've read from this series so far has been 5 stars, and I've heard that Tucker's book is amazing. This book is about Tucker. Yeah, I have super high hopes for this one, and yeah, I did like a random number generator based off the series that I had listed on a piece of paper that like I was not caught up on, and I rolled this number wherever this was on my list, and so I picked the next one in the series. And yeah, so excited to be reading this one, but I'm also sad because it means that this series is coming to a close. For the sequel to a 5-star prompt, I plan to read The Saint by KELSEY CLAYTON. This is the second book in a series or a companion novel series that I started last year, and I loved the first book and gave that one 5 stars, so I decided to grab this one for this prompt. I also had the good fortune, the luck, the unlucky vibes, I don't know, however you want to interpret it, of rolling and landing on the prompt that was to read an entire duology or trilogy. So for this prompt, you have to read 2 or 3 books for this one prompt. I decided that I wanted to read my collector's edition of Wild and Free by K. Webster. This is 2 books in one. It's a very taboo and forbidden romance. Yeah, and I'm going to read this book for this prompt. We'll see how it goes though. I also landed on the 2021 or 2022 sequel prompt, and for that, I will be reading Hunting Adeline, which is the sequel to Haunting Adeline. I read this book in February. I read Haunting Adeline in February. It is not here, but it's somewhere on my book cart, and it is very, very, very tabbed up on the side, so I plan to do the same for this one as well. This is a continuation of that series, or of that duology, and I am very nervous because I just know that my heart is going to hurt when I grab this one or pick it up and start reading it. So yeah, I can't wait, but also I'm scared. I also landed on the Finish Series prompt, and for that I will be reading The Legacy by Elle Kennedy. This is the last book in the Off-Campus series, and it is 4 novellas wrapped up into one book that follows each of the main couples from the previous 4 books that are part of this series. I know that people are not loving this one a lot, but I'm hoping that my opinion is more positive, just because I don't know what I'm going to do if I don't give this book 5 stars, because that'd be super sad. But yes, I'll be reading this book. This is a new adult romance, as are all the other books in this series. I did 2 more rolls on that Squash That Series readathon board. I did it going from start to finish, and then I went backwards and made my way back to the starting point. So the last 2 prompts that I have are favorite color and the most recently started series. For the most recently started series, I will be reading A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I read From Blood and Ash at the very end of January and really enjoyed it. I definitely believe that I will like this one even more, hopefully. Super excited to see what happens with Poppy and her man, and yeah, I just thinking about them makes me smile. So very excited to get to this book. I might read this one first for the readathon because it is the biggest and the most daunting, so I might try to knock this book out along with the novella at the very beginning of the readathon when it does start in a couple of days. And finally, for the favorite color prompt, I will be continuing this series by Sheridan Ann. It is a new adult bully romance, I believe, and I read the first book last year. It was fine, not my favorite, but I love the colors on the covers of the series, and yeah, I just went ahead and grabbed this book for this prompt because it was on Kindle Unlimited, and I did want to continue the series. So that is my TBR for the Squash That Series readathon. That might change, but that is mostly set in stone. Hopefully I can get to all these books during the 2 weeks that this readathon is running for. I also forgot to mention that for the month of March, I would like to read Girl Serpent Thorn. This is on my 22 books to read in 2022 challenge. So I am pretty ahead in that challenge so far. So I'm just reading one book from that this month, and I decided to, pick up this young adult fantasy. No idea what it's about, but it's a book of the month book. I need to read it. So this is the one that I picked for this month. And I will be doing a review video for this one like I have for all the other books that I've read on my 22 in 2022 challenge so far. Those are all the books that I have on my March TBR. As always, this will likely change. I highly doubt I'm going to stick with this TBR completely. But for the last 2 months of the year, we've only finished 2 months of the year so far, I have been pretty good overall about finishing or sticking to my TBRs that I made at the beginning of each month. I'm not perfect at it, but I would say that 75 to 80% of the books that I read each month are from that TBR that I make. So that's really encouraging, super exciting. I'm very glad that I have been much better at sticking with my TBRs so far this year. I love planning, but I also love being a mood reader. So, trying to find that balance between sticking with my TBR, but also reading what I want to read at the time. I have some really high hopes for this month reading-wise. I have some picks that I'm super excited about picking up, hoping to have a lot of 4- and 5-star reads this month. And I cannot wait to see what I end up reading. I hope to get to all of the vlogs that I've planned for this month. I would love to film, 4 or 5 vlogs during the month of March. We'll see what happens. I don't know what to expect. I might change my mind or decide, to switch things up a little bit, but this is the general picture that I've painted for the month of March in terms of reading. That was very chaotic. My brain is a little bit scattered today, but I hope you all enjoyed this video. If we are reading any of the same books, feel free to comment down below and let me know. I would love to know what is on your March TBR. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one.